Why are you pretending to care this much about the Middle East? Like, you don't give a fuck. You don't care.
This is just a subsidy that really affects your coverage that you're literally not allowed to disclose.
It's actually taking creators.
They were allowed to disclose it. Why would they? They're disclosing it now. They're talking about it now. This just so you know, this was the goal of Taylor's article. It was to just have it read by ignorant fucking buffoons who are just going to wing it and editorialize and just editorialize the editorialized article, and then just pepper it with a bunch of their own assumptions. That's what Taylor wanted. She's getting it.
Dan?
So interesting watching a reaction to this article from someone who clearly doesn't give a fuck about any of this and who hasn't done any homework or any prep before reading this thing just off of a bit of paper that was given to her. It's so interesting watching just like a passive reader, which Emma is. She's very passive. She has no like initiative. She has no cognitive initiative. She's just kind of like a bit of a retard. Okay. What are these assholes going to say about Taylor Lorenz?
Taylor Lorenz had an article that came out in Wired that's generating quite a bit of buzz in our corner of the internet. Wired, one of the best publications right now, you know, broke all that Doge stuff, broke the Jeffrey Epstein, there's metadata showing that they edited out minutes of footage of his cell in Adobe and that they left that in place. Like, I still think that story should have way more legs than it does. They left whoever, the FBI agent who did it left breadcrumbs or was too sloppy and showed that they edited footage out of that jail cell thing. But it just, you know, there's so much news and that's what benefits Trump here. That's a big aside. So Taylor Lorenz had this article entitled "A Dark Money Group is Secretly Funding High-Profile Democratic Influencers," showing that essentially there have been some Democratic, like, or liberal influencers and podcasters like us that were offered $8,000 a month to take part in a secretive. It's just like, oh my God, that's like a full salary per year for like a high salary. Like I was saying, 100K. Yeah, $8,000 a month to take part in a secretive program aimed at bolstering Democratic messaging on the internet. But the contract sent to them from Chorus, a nonprofit arm of a liberal...
Secretive, by the way. This is their Instagram post from November 19th, 2024. We're excited to announce that Chorus is launching our Creator Incubator program. Why the fuck? Very secretive. The Incubator is a learning community for pro-democracy creators. We host weekly technical trainings to help creators navigate growth on different platforms. Provide creators the opportunity to learn from guest speakers about topical news and issues. Provide them with technical tools and equipment to help them level up their production process. Dude.
On behalf of Chorus Media.
Chorus Media. DNC Chair Forum. There's Brian Tyler Cohen. There's a bunch of other creators. Look at all of them. Look at all of them go. There's Marianne Williamson. There's Booker Squared, mentioned in Taylor's article. Very secretive. Okay, you were saying? Good start.
Influencer marketing platform came with some strings. Among other issues, it mandated extensive secrecy about disclosing their payments and had restrictions on what sort of political content the creators could produce. I wonder if Palestine is like a little bit of a do not go there kind of
you wonder that. You could fucking check. Why are you so fucking lazy? You're like a big political creator. You're a big name. You've got this fucking studio space. You got everything. You got loads of viewers. You got time? Just check. Were they not supposed to talk about Gaza? I wonder. Okay. Let's just have a look. I need to go on to a login for this, don't I? Seems like we have a couple of Gaza things here. Mahmoud Khalil, Pro Zohran post. And this is all just in recent months as well that she's doing this. She's got quite a few of these, the Gaza ones. We haven't passed them earlier. No war in Iran. And this is one of the ones who put out a video to defend this organization, by the way. So, I don't know, just check. The obsession. Why the obsessive fucking hatred that you would just infer must be because of my special interest from the last 2 years.
Deal.
You're going to see me with a really nice watch, and I'm going to be like, I won't endorse Zoran until I have a constructive conversation with him.
And community-based constructive conversation. The folks that were, I guess, in this kind of group of influencers that this thing called the Chorus Creator Incubator Program, funded by a powerful liberal dark money group called the 1630 Fund. They included I don't know what that means. The program kicked off last month, and creators involved were told by Chorus that over 90 influencers were set to take part. Creators told Wired that the contract stipulated they'd be kicked out and essentially cut off financially if they even so much as acknowledged that they were a part of the program. Some creators also raised concerns about a slew of restrictions.
So what does that mean? Now that all these creators have come out and said, yes, I worked with Chorus, why have they all just violated their contract? Are they all in trouble now? Or did they very quickly change the contract and change the terms as part of a damage control like operation? Again, no one who has actually worked with Chorus has confirmed any of these like nefarious claims that Lorenz is making. All these claims that she's got from her article are based on the interpretation of a contract from people who chose not to work with Chorus.
Clauses in the contract. Influencers included in communication about the program, and in some cases on an onboarding session for those receiving payments from the 1630 Fund, included Olivia Juliana, the centrist Gen Z influencer who spoke at the 2024 Democratic National Convention, Lauren Peretra, a former Playboy executive, I've never heard of her, hosts the Occupy Democrats podcast. At least it has Democrats in the title where you kind of know what you're getting.
Who's listening?
I don't know.
Occupied by Democrats?
Barrett Adair, a content creator who runs an American Girl doll themed pro DNC meme account.
Here's $8,000 a month.
Seems made up. God, I mean, and for a fraction of the reach that, like, I can't imagine that they're getting great bang for their buck there. I haven't heard of most of these people.
What do you mean bang for their buck? It's not like an investment. They're not trying to build a media empire or anything, or like, I guess in a sense they are, but it's a non-profit. It's a political project. They're trying to, this is like, even private industries do this. Even companies that do intend to make a profit do this. Like newspapers will lose money just to push a political agenda. It's an incubator program. Yes, they're offering money because they want to build up creators to make them independent. And some of these creators are not like, they're not tiny. At least on TikTok, they get quite a bit of views and likes and everything. They're just not in your sphere. They're not trying to make a profit or get bang for their buck. They're trying to, like they say from the beginning, like David Pakman said, I guess in his very secretive, maybe that's why we missed it, because it was so secretive. His announcements for Chorus.
Plan to do exactly that with Chorus. Chorus is a new creator-led initiative of some of the most powerful online voices on the left coming together to drive the conversation and take power back from the far right. And the whole point here is coordinate, get people watching. Chorus is going to help with production support for newer creators, editing, equipment, booking. Chorus will coordinate on messaging and streamline access to research and data. Chorus will find new talent to grow the ecosystem even more. We lost an election. There's no reason to lose the country. Check out davidpakman.com/chorus to learn more.
Sorry, I'm not crying on behalf of David Pakman and his secrets getting exposed. I just coughed up a fucking lung, but anyway.
Suzanne Lambert, who has called herself a Regina George liberal. This is fucking horrible. So you're both like, so you're a bitch, and then also a supporter of like Adam Schiff. Is that what that means? Ariel Fodor, an education creator with 1.4 million followers on TikTok.
It's so interesting watching a reaction to this article from someone who clearly doesn't give a fuck about any of this and who hasn't done any homework or any prep before reading this thing just off of a bit of paper that was given to her. It's so interesting watching just like a passive reader, which Emma is. She's very passive. She has no like initiative. She has no cognitive initiative. She's just kind of like a bit of a retard. But watching the way she's absorbing this and the conclusions she's drawing from it on the spot, like that's what the article intended to do. Don't let any of these people fool you. Like the more cunning types, like your Erins and of the world, who have read the article and are aware of all the cracks and the flaws in it, and are just trying to are just trying to salvage anything they can with like, oh, this bit of the contract actually said that you've got to let us know about people who are using the newsroom to talk about our policy, like, and that's really restricted, like any of that. Or why don't they just don't be fooled by people who are doing that? Because again, the intent of the article wasn't to talk about what might be in one or two places a poorly worded contract, or the fact that some of these people took money for something that it probably is more ethical to disclose, but they just didn't because they didn't think it was influencing their views or anything in any way, and it wasn't really changing their output apart from that, because they saw it as more of a training course than like an advocacy campaign. So but that's not what it's about. It's about calling it a secret program to fund establishment Dem people who call themselves Regina George and want them to shut the fuck up about Palestine. Like, that's the conclusions that she's drawing from it so far, and it's all bullshit. Like, all of those claims are wrong.
Jennings, a former TLC reality star and older brother of trans influencer Jazz Jennings, David Pakman, who hosts an independent progressive show on YouTube covering news and politics, Lee McGowan, who goes by the online moniker Politics Girl, and dozens of others. According to copies of the contract viewed by Wired that creators signed, the influencers were not allowed to disclose their relationship with Chorus or the 1630 Fund, or functionally that they're being...
That's not true. They were obviously allowed to disclose their relationship with Chorus because they have videos of themselves doing stuff with Chorus. We saw this one. This was on... She mentioned that person, Politics Girl.
On behalf of Chorus.
This is on her YouTube channel, Politics Girl, from 7 months ago. Chorus, DNC Chair Forum.
Being paid at all.
Here's a fun game I want people to play. Who's the most pro-Palestine person implicated in any of this?
There's none. None, exactly.
Who's the most sort of...
How do you know if there's none if you don't know who the fuck they are, you fucking liar? What the fuck's wrong with you? Go look them up. How do you... fuck you, man. Again, I don't blame her for doing it. She's getting rewarded. She gets all the reward in the world for behaving like this. Just like... Where's the short-term memory? Is everyone just like a... fucking living embodiment of a doom scroll right now? They just say, oh wow, I bet they weren't even telling people to talk about Gaza. Oh, let's look at these creators. I have no idea who the fuck are these people. They must be tiny. No bang for your buck from the non-profit organization. Yeah, who the fuck? I don't know any of them. Yeah, are there any pro-Palestine people? Nah, none of them are. Nah, none of them. What the fuck? You mean none of them are your mates? You fucking asshole. Like, fuck you.
Like socialist.
Right. You know, Juliana and David Pakman, who, you know, he's always been nice to me. I think I have some disagreements with, you know, his politics, particularly his foreign policy views. You know, I think you gotta, if you take this kind of money, you can't sign a contract that says you can't disclose it at the very least. Like, straight up.
Or you have to very simply lose the word independent from your marketing.
Right.
Because if you are taking money from people who think that they are supporting independent media, and actually there's a giant subsidy going to you from the like donors and you know partisans of the party, that's a huge problem. That implicates...
He's trying to say anything but DNC because he knows that would just be a fucking lie. But he's just saying enough that's close to that to make the audience think that because they won't know the difference.
Us.
Yeah.
That makes my fucking industry look cheap. And there's this sort of like posture of how dare Taylor Lorenz? How dare you have questions about this? No, how dare you motherfuckers seriously debase this entire area by taking this sort of money and acting like this is nothing. That this is actually what you wanted to see.
Fuck
this is an incubator.
Fake fucking performative outrage, you fucking worm. Like, what? Oh, how dare you debase my good name as the majority? Really? Sorry, disclose all your fucking super chatters then. Disclose all the people who give you guys money. What the fuck? You think it's a majority report? Like, even I don't struggle to come across the odd, like, very generous donor. I don't think I get $8,000 a month or anything, but there are people who, even for my size, give me like a fair few hundred a month in donations. Do I need to disclose all of that? Like, if they're not swaying my politics, if they're not compromising you, if they're not taking away your independence as a creator, which there's no evidence yet that Chorus was doing that, then why the fuck would you... Again, you can argue that... Personally, I think, given that Chorus had the newsroom connection, and if you had politicians coming into the newsroom to do interviews, or you're getting hooked up, or you had people where you sat around and discussed news of the day, That's probably, you'd probably be okay disclosing that. Like, I think you probably should. It's better than not doing it. But as far as that being like a newsworthy thing, fuck off, man. Like, it's, show us one creator who changed their opinions before and after chorus. Speaking of which, Tash Gordon, thanks for the 20 gifted subs. Do you know who, where I say I got the money from Tash Gordon, but do you guys know where Tash got the money from? I don't know. Looks like dark money to me.
You're incubating David Pakman? I think he's fucking incubated.
Yeah, I mean, like, these guys were at the White House, right? Remember, posing with Joe Biden and Olivia Giuliana too, and this was in the midst of him committing a genocide.
How can these people who are so fucking cataclysmically uninformed on this conflict? I remember the last time I watched the Majority Report talking about Hezbollah getting targeted, and she's out here being like, why are you there? They're the government. No, they're fucking, what? Because they have a couple of guys in the Lebanese parliament. That means you just ignore the fact that there's also a non-state military state within a state group that is not legitimate, controlling the fucking country. And even then, even despite them having a few politicians, it's not the couple of politicians that they have in parliament that allowed them to block the presidency from getting taken for the last 2 years. That wasn't why they were able to do that. They did that through fucking strong-arming, through cynical means. What, the guys who couped the government in Lebanon in 2008? Like, really, them? Marching through fucking Beirut with guns. Being like, hey, fuck you. You want to investigate us for the murder of politicians or for the fucking port explosion? Nah, not allowed. Not allowed. Why are you pretending to care this much about the Middle East? Like, you don't give a fuck. You don't care. Like, the ratio of obsession to actual thought about the things she's talking about.
Because it was a lot of the same people. Was that the direct connection? It seems like it.
It seems that was the direct connection, and you see them posing the photos with them, and Umish Voter, I think is the name of the account, a great follow for like election type stuff, a progressive account, made this point that it feels like all of these influencers were there to convince old people that Biden had young support versus trying to get young people on board with Biden. I thought that was such a great point.
The old people are more likely to get their wallets out for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Look at.
Sorry, I'm muted. I'm sorry. This is the person who's out here being like, where's your content on Gaza? Not even that, without even fucking looking for it. Two-state solution equals apartheid. What the fucking cock? What? What's the most recent PSR on this one? This is July 24. This is May 2025. PSR polls recent. Well, June 2024. I guess that's around the same time as her saying that. Oh, here we go, 2024. Is this it? Yeah, July. Oh. This is actually from a poll where support for the two-state solution was reducing. Lots of liberals upset about racial integration in Greater Israel, SMH. What? It wouldn't be Greater Israel. Why are you calling it Greater Israel? It would be Israel and Palestine. The two-state solution. Look at all these libs. Look at all these lib fucks. This is actually when two-state solution support was dropping. From 2024, I mean, it was down a few points in recent years, not since 2022. 40% support a two-state solution, a 7-point rise compared to 2022. More support this than those who support either a single Palestinian state with limited rights to Jews, 33, or a single democratic state with equal rights for all, 25. Why, again, why? Why is the least popular option amongst Palestinians the one that you want? And the one that you think people who reject it are upset about racial integration? They would rather a single state with limited rights for Jews. You fucking tool. But meanwhile, you're going to go around here and purity test people on how many fucking Gaza posts they have on their Instagram.
All these young, nice influencers that are saying, actually, people don't care about Gaza. People don't like Bernie Sanders that much or AOC. They want Alyssa Slotkin.
And we got a clip of Hasan that someone sent to us reacting to it. I am proud to say that the Majority Report, I don't think we were approached, right? I mean, we would have...
Maybe Sam was, and Sam laughed at it.
Yeah, I mean, or it got lost in junk email and we would have never responded to it anyway. But in terms of like, you know, calling yourself independent media and then taking a bunch of money, this was our same critique of TYT, who then accused us of being a part of this, like,
because we have advertisers.
Because we have advertisers.
That we actually, like, are paid to announce the connection on the show.
What is this? deleted tweet from Matt Lech. Oh yeah, this guy's Twitter is absolutely fucking hideous. Like he's such an absolute like moron. I guess it's because of the fact that he was like, the problem with Matt Lech is that he was tragically born without a personality, so he kind of needs to compensate by just saying the most unhinged batshit nonsense on his social media. Matt Lech deleted criticize Hasan, fascist simp. The streamers that criticize Hasan are in fact fascist collaborators. Interesting. What's this repost? Making the rounds on Instagram. Blockade to stop the genocide in Gaza. They're not terrorists and they're not crazy. They made a simple demand acting in line with the Geneva Convention. It's so stupid, man. You do not get to target civilians just because you've deemed that something happening 1,000 miles away from you is a genocide. That is not in the Geneva Convention. Stop fucking lying. Yeah, whatever.
Show
Yeah.
as a part of the advertisement.
Right. And like, but that was their kind of branding of independent is undercut by the Peter Thiel money from both like these exploitative Medicare Advantage things and also Poly Market. So, but that's even somehow still more independent than taking money like directly from a Democratic firm and then saying you can't disclose it too, because it's one thing to read an ad for Medicare Advantage and like, all right, people can look into it and see how shady this plan is, but you're reading the ad. This is just a subsidy that really affects your coverage that you're literally not allowed to disclose.
It's actually taking creators.
They were allowed to disclose it. None of the creators so far have said that they were not allowed. Like the actual creators who took the contract have said, yeah, we weren't allowed to. Why would they? They're disclosing it now. They're talking about it now. Unless you think that they just said, oh, fuck, damage control. Okay, guys, disclose. Say you're allowed to disclose $8,000. Again, Taylor's article would be so much stronger, given that these guys can make something out of nothing anyway, if she had one person who actually worked with Chorus, took the deal, and then got fucked over by them in some way.
Their wings.
But yeah, this just so you know, this was the goal of Taylor's article. It was to just have it read by ignorant fucking buffoons who are just going to wing it and editorialize and just editorialize the editorialized article and then just pepper it with a bunch of their own assumptions. That's what Taylor wanted. She's getting it.
So they know how to properly post thumbnails and descriptions that are going to get engagement. This is just about best practices. And I would love somebody to give me an $8,000 a month retainer to teach me about how to do thumbnails. Please, as long as you don't have
You're
to say
boring.
like,
No one likes you. What the fuck? What? Also, why are you so surprised that this organization wouldn't approach you guys or any of you or anyone else around this sphere? Why didn't they approach Denims or Gremlo or fucking Mike and PA? Because you guys don't want Democrats to win. You don't give a fuck about them. Why do they assume everyone's getting 8K? Again, because they're... that's how the article was intended to be read. Let's have a look at how it's written. Because they've only read the first couple of paragraphs as well, have they? We're not far off of just headline riffing. An initiative aimed at boosting Democrats online offers influencers up to... Well, it says up to. They were being offered $8,000 per month. Dozens of influencers, they were being offered $8,000. Like this first paragraph, I guess, if you didn't read this bit or if you forgot about the up to, this sentence is not very well worded.
oh yeah, actually, it's all the people who supported Palestine who are responsible for what's going on now.
So Hasan reacted to this. Here's his take.
Say then all those people noted in the article should just say Israel bad. What do you see these shit Dem party defenders doing? More their audiences turn on them. I think they're just like actively going to actively try to defend their honest intentions. They're going to say like, no, we didn't do this because of money. We did it. They just gave us money for free and you're stupid.
And so I'm aware of
Because remember,
that.
a lot of this stuff is just like parasocial.
But it doesn't matter because
Again,
I want to...
it's a non-profit. It's not really for free. What they're getting is what they said they want. They want an ecosystem of alt media creators on places like TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and everything else who want the Democrats to win and want to counter the wave of new media coming from the Republicans. That's what they want. That's what they're paying for.
Make sure my audience hears from me about this. Now, the most important thing to say is that the idea behind this group is exactly what I've been advocating for years. For years I've been saying...
I mean, I will say, it's not very surprising to me, at least, that like there are a lot of left content creators on the independent media side, some of which are very popular, myself included, Chapo Trap House, Majority Report. And I don't think these guys went to them at all. One must ask the question, why? Why is it, you know? Perhaps it's because if you have
you're useless fucking parasites who only see the Democratic Party as a vehicle to advance your own retarded like political agenda that they don't care for. Maybe.
Truly anti-establishment opinion. It's not just like marketing.
They are also already established. Yeah, it's not like Hasan needs any help with his fucking thumbnails. What?
Then it's not likely that you are going to have billionaires that fund you through dark money groups so that you can actively demand that they no longer be billionaires. This is not happening.
Left needs to organize independent media in the way that the right has been doing. The left needs to fund independent creators the way that the right does. The right has won even arguably presidential elections.
Yeah, I think they're also saying, this is the argument. This is the meta. Well, the Republicans do this too, and if we got to fight fire with fire, this is how we got to do it. It's like you're just making an argument to get money from the Democratic Party.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well,
crazy.
I mean,
well, again, are they going to correct the fact that none of this is DNC money? Are we going to correct that?
I gotta organize my retirement account.
Did you have the part also where we don't need to play it, but
No,
the
we're not
Olivia
going to correct that.
Juliana
Okay, why not?
tweet?
Pretty soon after.
Okay, yeah, just play a little bit more. Just because it was so funny to see. Yeah, here it is. Just put it up. The tweet. Yeah.
Making like what? Almost 60 grand a year. Yeah. This is the major problem. Okay. You're right. Zero people come to this conclusion naturally. Okay. This is the issue.
Bro, you support fucking Houthis. You're surprised that someone, I don't even know who Alyssa Slotkin is, but my guess is she's like a right-leaning Democrat? Like that, is that it? You support fucking Houthis, but you're surprised that people like this person. Wait. Do I know this person? She's not the one who went on Crystal and Kyle. No, not Crystal and Kyle. Breaking Points. It totally is. That's her, right?
Aid to this country. Much about him until he won. But because I think this issue is motivating people in a very visceral and personal way.
Yeah.
But it's not the only issue that my voters in Michigan care about.
Of course.
And the online...
Of course.
If you are still supporting a genocide in Gaza.
Where does it start?
Democratic primary in the state of Michigan for the Senate seat that's up, that's who I will endorse, regardless of who it is.
All right, that was my last question.
Yeah.
So
By the way,
sure.
she answered every question here again, like fairly thoughtfully, like with her talking about the starvation policy and the GHF and saying that they need to get more aid in and that it's a requirement by the Geneva Conventions. You can't just block aid because you think you're going to hurt your enemy enough, even if it means the entire civilian population goes without food. She was saying all this, but then Crystal just said like, but you do understand that it's a genocide, right? Like, where was the bit about aid? Hang on. I think she even said starvation policy.
Do you accept that Israel has a policy of enforced famine and starvation in the Gaza Strip?
I think I literally put my name on a letter yesterday or last night that says like a policy of starvation, people are starting to starve. And in general, I mean, I served in places like Ramadi and Fallujah. I watched in 2004 and 2005, Al-Qaeda terrorists drag American citizens behind a vehicle until they died, right? Like horrible, and then string them up, like a lynching.
Okay.
We still had a responsibility to get aid into Fallujah, despite the fact that we were fighting Al-Qaeda cells in Fallujah, and I have been clear about that.
So this is a crime against humanity. Forced starvation is
do you see how like she's trying to talk about the issue and talk about the obligations, talk about what has to happen, and then Crystal's like, so you understand that it's a genocide, crime against humanity, white supremacy, like. This is not a political discussion. It's just a purity test. It's so fucking stupid, really. Okay, so you're surprised, Mr. fucking Hezbollah Houthi glazer, that this person likes Alyssa Slotkin. Fucking hell.
If the people that are getting paid by the Dems are saying shit like, Alyssa Slotkin is becoming one of my favorite Democrats, like, you are just taking money from the Dems to spit back.
Not taking money from the Dems, I suppose. Even Taylor Lorenz wouldn't make a claim like that. Even she's not stupid enough to go for that for that level of blatant dishonesty. Is anyone going to correct that? Second time now.
Taking money from the Democratic Party to spit back these kinds of takes for absolutely no one. You know what I mean?
It's destroying democracy, honestly.
Right. I mean, we saw, remember that the Vanguard guys talked about this, that they were approached with some like shady money.
Is it like Harlan Crow or whatever, something like that?
Or something. I think when they were more with the Jimmy Dore wing.
It was about anti-vax stuff. I know
Right.
that.
And we have speculated that there's a lot of subsidization of anti-vaccine views on the internet. And I felt like that's kind of where this got really going, and there were wealthy people that realized this is pretty cheap.
Yeah. Well, unless you're Spotify.
Yeah, and then
That's
200 million.
Mo, but for real, like the podcasters, you got to think like if they even have a Patreon, you're a rich guy, you go in there and say, here's $1,000 a month.
Yeah,
that's all it takes that's nothing to those guys.
Nothing.
That's a lot for some of these outfits. Yeah. I mean,
it
maybe
would change my opinion on Elise Luck.
But the other thing is it's not just, and Hasan made the point, like, yeah, we weren't approached for this incubation service.
I would see the email. Those emails go right to
me. We weren't approached to this because they don't actually want to just organize the left. Yeah. They want to elevate certain voices who they like what they say. Right. And that's why it's not actually still a problem if, for instance, David Pakman would have programmed the exact same. Now all of a sudden he's got $8,000 more to play with from rich people because why? Because they like what he says, the way he says it about, or just avoids Gaza entirely. I'm just not going to talk about it.
No evidence that they were ever told to avoid Gaza. The reason that most of the creators probably don't talk about Gaza nearly as much as you guys do is because they're normal fucking people who live in the United States, and that Gaza is not like a top priority for American voters. Like that's what it never was. It never was a very high priority for American voters. It's a high priority for this very niche, self-fucking aggrandizing shithead community on the internet that doesn't even know or care that much about the Israel-Palestine conflict. They just like it now because it's a very good excuse for them to tug themselves off about how fucking moral they are on the international stage as white colonizer Americans. Which is not to mention the fact that these guys still spoke about Gaza.
Because people get upset during this genocide. That's one reason why these guys are valuable to these people.
It's in the second paragraph. It's in the second paragraph. It mandated extensive secrecy about disclosing their payments and had restrictions on what sort of political content creators could produce. That means they're dictating.
Is there any creator? Wait.
Your content directly in the contract.
Any creator who said that they had their content was dictated. Any source for that? No source for that. No.
And that is really bad. But the worst element of it too is that it required your secrecy about the payments. Like the thing is that a Democratic associated group, Chorus, is not left media. This is not like a well-meaning leftist, like rich person. Maybe they're a comedian or something, or an artist. Or an athlete. That's basically how non-sociopaths get rich. Giving a bunch of money to outlets that they like to get their coverage more of a boost. That in theory could happen, although it really doesn't happen much. This is
What secrecy was there when they were on the site? Oh, did we not look through that one as well? What, the Pac-Man video where he's talking about the website and Chorus.
Powerful online.
And there's like a whole, that's Booker Square, that's Brian Tyler Cohen. We are Chorus. Look at all these people, man. Look at them all. It's a secret. November 19th, 2014.
Secretive financial arrangement with a group that's associated with the Democratic Party that has veto power over certain things that you can and cannot say. It's a problem. It's a rot, and it hurts all of our credibility when our colleagues engage in this kind of thing. I do believe that.
I feel indignant about it, and this whole thing that Brian Tyler Cohen's going on about, that it is
with an eye.
It's a what is
it?
Are
you covering the Trump announcement? Yeah, it's in like 30 minutes, isn't it?
Education. David Pakman's education. How long has he been doing this?
Yeah, no.
Well, David Pakman's role is different. He's not getting taught how to make thumbnails. David Pakman was supposed to be like mentoring or helping people. I thought that's what he was doing. Yeah.
Like, you're recruiting for something else than just like helping the party win. Because this dumb shit where Olivia Juliana is, 1 year she has abolish ICE and defund the police on her profile picture, and then the next she's saying, actually.
Vosh responds to Destiny calling him out. Wait, really? Is this a response or is this just its own tweet? Ooh, okay. Thanks. You linked a Destiny tweet before, but you thought this was a reply. It's not a reply. It's just a separate tweet. Okay, clever. You were joking. You were pulling my leg. Oh no, we have a master post.